Statesman Nation, here with Jenny Carlson, head volleyball coach. Coach, you guys are a few days into practice. Hopefully everything is going well. Haven't heard any horror stories yet from the girls, so we'll just get right into it. We want to talk about 2015, but first let's just recap 2014 real quick and get into talking about recruiting as well.
All right, so, last year, kind of a rough season. Numbers were kind of low, which, again, was my first year fully recruiting alone,
Right.
that type of stuff. So we definitely stepped up last year's recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Rachel and Steph, too, we got going on, these are what we need. We need to start just
Right.
bringing in these kids. We need
Right.
positions, we need backups, we
Right.
need people to work hard. So,
Right.
We told the girls, here's what off-season's going to look like. We need you guys to work really hard. We need you to buy in, and
Sure.
and we're going to bring in the girls. So, it at first, I don't think it, necessarily was going as fast as some of them wanted it to go. But, we got to about 10, and then after we had 10 recruits, it flew. We got another one, so the
Sure.
girls bought into it.
Right.
So they worked harder in the weight room. They worked harder in, spring season because it was low numbers, and
Sure.
it was kind of repetition and that
Yeah,
type of stuff.
yeah.
So, they got to see videos of some of the girls coming in, and they all started to get pretty exciting. So then, you hit summer.
Right.
And there was 6 here, so I knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that they were in the weight room and getting stronger, but, bringing in 29 kids,
Right.
only 7 of those, that leaves me a couple out there. So
Sure.
the best thing was, last Friday, they all showed up.
There you
So
go.
we didn't have to worry about this one isn't coming. So, we passed that big first hurdle, and
Right.
we did things a little different. We had testing, and then we had boot camp, which if you talk to any of the girls, they're probably still sore today from
Right.
it. And even some of the football coaches were like, oh, I would not want to do that.
Yeah.
So the girls pushed through it. It was an awesome first team bonding thing, kind of
Good.
see where everyone was at, and no one, got injured or fell too far behind, so we're in
Nobody
pretty
threw
decent
up,
shape.
so.
Yeah, no throwing up, which,
Yeah.
we were expecting a couple, you know.
Sure.
So, got through that and started practice on Monday. So,
There you go.
we've been going pretty good. They're very sore.
Yeah.
They're very sore,
Sure.
but other than that, everyone's still in one piece.
There you go. They can get through this week and next week, then they're ready to roll and
Right.
get right to it. So.
Yep, we play next Saturday, the 22nd.
Yeah.
So a week from 2 days.
Yeah, exactly.
But so this week's gonna be tough, and next week we got to start prepping. So they got to get through this week, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well then, just segue right into the season. You guys are a week and a half away, so let's just break it down by position. That's probably the easiest, I would assume.
Right,
so.
right.
Okay.
So obviously, as far as returners go, we've kind of talked about this. On the pins, we don't have too many people on the outside. 2 strong lefties coming back, Shawnee Wills and Natalie Seek. They're definitely going to be in that right side combo.
Sure.
We've looked at a possibility of a 5'1", a 6'2". What can we do to be better this year? How
Right.
do we make our steps this year?
Yeah.
So as far as returners in that role, those 2 are who we have coming back. We go to the outside. We have a transfer, Savannah Hartman. She's definitely going to see a lot of time on the outside, and in 2 different roles. She could be the L1 where we need her to dominate, or she could be the L2 where we need her to pass and
Sure.
hit the front row. One big surprise for us that we've been so excited in the gym has been Claire Simmons.
Great.
She's a freshman. She's coming from Williamsburg,
Okay.
Iowa. So. Kind of local,
Yeah,
I
fairly
guess
local,
you would
about an
say.
hour away, yeah.
Probably
Right.
one of our most local
Yeah.
out of this, recruiting class. So, ball control, the way she hits shots, we're all just overly impressed with that.
Sure.
We also have Hannah Dustin from LBS. She's a transfer from AIB.
Right.
We've seen some good swings out of her, and then a couple other kids that also came in that we're seeing some good looks, but
Sure.
we got to work on a couple things.
Right.
As far as the middle goes, again, low on returners.
Right.
We have Erica Getz coming back, and she actually was pretty much off all of preseason because of shoulders.
Right.
So she rehabbed all summer, and she's actually looking pretty decent. She's worked on some things that she could, and definitely going to give us a run. The middle, we have 2 really good transfers that came in, so they're going to be pushing each other. And then we also have a freshman that came in from California, and she's showing some good potential as well.
Any names?
Well, we have Justine, and then we have Nicole Harrison and Lily Martinez. So out of those girls, we definitely will see the 4 battling a lot.
Right.
But again, little pieces. So each one has that little individual thing that, we just got to fix that in order to put them up there.
There you go.
And then also on the right side, we have a freshman, Kiera McPherson. Ball control, great. And just a smart player all the way around. So definitely excited to see, kind of where that can roll too, especially as a freshman, you know. We'll see what we can develop. DSs, we have Danny Breer back, most likely definitely in the libero position, but we have Ashley Miller that came in from Iowa as well, and she'll be around Danny's heels. It'll be a very good push for Danny, and then a very good DS for us as well, to do that type of stuff. As the setters go, and we have quite a few DSs, which, when you bring in that many DSs, you could range from here to there, and each day we can move around who, from freshmen to transfers, who is, up at the top of the DS thing. So that's a great problem to have for us. It's not like, this and this, and all the way across the board, we've been competitive. And then in the setting role, we have Layra coming back, obviously. Emily McHugh as well, which we've been talking to her a little bit more about the DS or the setter. Kind of, you're going to train for this, but we definitely like this from what you brought to the table last year. And then we have a transfer, Carissa Wilcoxon. She's from Ottumwa. She's been working in the setter position as well. And then 2 transfers. 2 freshmen. Haley Smith from Michigan, and actually Kaylin Crothers, who is from the Michigan-Indiana border, working in that position as well. So it's definitely been big groups, competitive, and getting to see a lot of, volleyball.
Sure. Yeah. Well, great, like you said, to have that depth and just know that if somebody goes down, next man up, next woman up, and everybody's willing and they're working hard and just in case. And they're ready to step in.
And we've been scrimmaging at night, and it's been, we've come up with different teams every night, and the scores have been really close. You get down to that 21-23, and it's stayed competitive the whole time. So we're very excited to see, that stuff and the difference in this year and last year.
Definitely. Getting into the schedule, obviously we'll talk about the Heart in a minute, but just a non-conference schedule. A few tournaments, a few less than probably what's been normal, but throwing in several more regular season matches with the Heart. Talk about the non-conference side first and how that's going to prepare you guys.
Okay, so non-conference side, we kind of went and got a couple of our schools that we were used to playing last year. So we opened with Mount Mercy, which I'm excited because that was a really good game for us next year. And obviously, after meeting with all the Heart teams, the ones that we did see, everyone recruited well. So everyone should be getting better this year. So the competition's going to be good. So we open with Mount Mercy, which I think will be a good test for us because I'm going to get to see, I know kind of where Mount Mercy was last year. I know where we were last year, and I think we're better. I'm sure they're going to be better. So I'm excited to measure off of that first match. Then we're going to head up to Northwestern, which it's a very good tournament.
Very good tournament.
Lots of ranked teams. So again, I'm one about not playing a bunch of easy teams. Let's go play the hard teams and see how we fix things. I want to go up there and I want to play the best we can play and really see where we're at. So glad to see that before we get started with conference play. Our home opener is against Waldorf. So last year, same thing I would say as Mount Mercy. It was definitely good matches between the two of us. And then we actually get right into conference play after that. So I think we have a good first little road to go until we get into conference play as far as seeing things and seeing our lineups and working that stuff out.
Yeah, and giving obviously the freshmen and the transfers an opportunity to just gel
Yes.
You know, and
I
that's
mean,
that's
and
obviously going to be the
tell
biggest
all
thing
of
with
them.
this team is
I tell all
gelling.
of them, August is still preseason. So,
Yeah.
yes, do I want to win? Of course I want to win, but at the same time, we have some games to get through and
Right.
work on our lineups and work on our, communication and who's going to play best next to each other. And
Right.
then we hit September and we got to start rolling.
Sure, exactly. Right into the conference side of things. It's a tough conference.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
You bring Grandview with, and Grandview is a top 10 team. You have teams like Mid-Am and I think Benedictine. I think Evangel's really good. I mean,
Baker.
so Culver Stockton's very, very much improved. I mean, there's a lot of really good teams. So, looking at where we position ourselves in the preseason poll, not surprising coming off last year, but I know you've talked about how that's a good thing. So I'll let you talk about that.
So, our whole recruiting purpose last year was because we knew where we were headed.
Right.
We knew that we were going to be taking Grandview in, which is a great team in our conference. And then we knew we were going to be up against the good teams in their conference. So I told, me and Rachel, as we sat down and we had our serious meetings about, okay, what do we need to bring in? It was, listen, this team is very good, or this conference very good, and it was up and down for them. I mean, someone would beat another team and they'd completely flip-flop, or they'd drop 2 or 3 spots, or go up 2 or 3 spots. So, I told Rachel, we got to go in competing at the middle for sure for our first year. And, we're ranked last right now in the preseason polls, but I am actually excited about it because we don't have a target on our back, and we're going in to prove that, we don't want to, we worked hard. So that's how we kind of took things with the girls, and we explained to them, like, this is a new conference. Our ranking reflects last year. It's not last year anymore. So it's our time to go in and improve and work hard and show what we can do in this conference. So we're excited. I mean, we've had great games with Graceland. We've had great games. I mean, we had some good games with Culver Stockton, given our situation with injuries and all that type of stuff. But we've kind of seen some of the competition. So if we go in and play our best game, I mean, that's what I can ask them for.
Exactly, definitely. 2-part question. What are the expectations in the league, realistic expectations, and finally, keys to success in 2015?
Okay, so expectations. Our biggest goal is to be in the top 8.
Right. Go to make the postseason tournament.
We want to make the postseason tournament. So, it'd be great to be above 8, but I have already told the girls, we get into the conference tournament if we're number 8, and that's what our goal needs to be. That's our showing for our first year here. And if we go above and beyond, then that's great. Let's keep going. But right now, we are focused and we are practicing game by game. I mean, again, once we get to that point, but we're taking each game into consideration. Like, this is a conference match. This means something. As opposed to, okay, we're playing another volleyball game. We got another volleyball game. So, just preparation for those things. Keys to success. Keys to success are probably going to be, keeping everyone healthy. Keeping everyone working really hard, because they're going to be pushing each other. So if we don't have that competitiveness created in practice, that's where we're going to start to, lack in some areas. So that's going to be a big thing on our practice plans as coaches, and just making sure that we continue to preach and do the same thing every day as far as keeping them involved and that type of stuff. And then it's just going to be the drive. There's so much we can do with lineups, there's so much we can do with this, but we also aren't out there playing. In the end, it's up to those 6 that are on the court. So. So just keeping them positive and, the confidence behind them and that type of stuff.
Right, definitely. All right, Coach. Well, thank you for sitting down for a while. I know you guys got to get right back to the 3 days and all that fun stuff. But like I said, everybody's still in one piece for the first week, and that's all you can ask right now. And they'll continue to gel and get better. So hopefully every match gets better, starting from day 1 next Saturday. So.
Yeah, it's going to be here quick.
There you go. All right, thanks, Jenny.
Thank you.